The following program is sponsored in part by To a Woman's Heart. The thoughts and views expressed by the following production don't necessarily reflect those of the network or any sponsors. Rainbow Room Publishing Live, starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. RRP Live, a division of Rainbow Room Publishing, concludes the summer reading list of 2025 with author James Earl Hardy, New York Times and best-selling author of the B-Boy Blues series, as well as playwright and screenwriter for the stage play and film of the same title. Join us for this inspirational, educational, and very entertaining conversation, coming soon to you from RRP Live. RRP Live, we don't just sell you a book, we give you an experience. Hello, family. This is Eddie Pierce coming to you from, the remote RRP Live studios. Actually on a bit of a working vacation. But baby, when I tell you, we always got time for this guest who's coming in today. Present to you, I just so over the moon to present to some and introduce to others. This man is a legendary icon. It's just one of my favorite phrases, and he definitely fits the bill. New York Times, Amazon best-selling author, screenwriter, and playwright, amongst many other things that this man does. You'll find out more as we get into the conversation. But I bring to you today none other than Mr. James Earl Hardy. Welcome to the show, sir.
Hey, mister.
How are you doing?
I'm good. Can't complain.
All right. And I'm loving the background, by the way. I kind of tried to do a little something like that at the last minute with my books, but I am loving that. So just so the people know, this man, and we're going to talk about this man, is always producing, always publishing, always promoting, always inspiring, entertaining, and educating, my top 3. So we're going to get right into this conversation because he's going to go off to make some more magic right after we get done with this. So, Brother James, I wanted to start out with the fact that I've said it before, and I believe that it holds true, that the best writing typically comes from a personal place, the things that the author knows the most intimately. And so, I'm familiar with the writing, and several of our viewers are, but, there's always a new generation. There's always new people, quote unquote, discovering you. And I was just curious to know what parallels, any that you want to talk about, do you find between the work that you produce, the story content, and your lived experiences?
First of all, thank you so much for the opportunity to fellowship with you again. It's been a few years since we've actually been in the same space, but no matter how we're together, it's always magic. So I appreciate that with you. I guess I should start really at the beginning. Long story short, writing has always been like breathing for me. I wrote my first poem when I was maybe like 8 years old. I was in junior high and high school on the newspaper, the yearbook, and of course, graduated to pursuing journalism as a career. Wanting to do something with this gift that I had, and eventually found my way into the world of fiction, thanks to Mitchell and Raheem, aka the world over knows them as Pookie and Little Bit. The catalyst for specifically B-Boy Blues, my first novel, I happened to have been at Newsweek in the arts department This was the summer of 1993. And I was an intern, but they gave it a fancy name, research fellow. So basically I did all the research for most of the staff writers. One of the editors asked me to read books that they were not familiar with, or from authors they were not familiar with. And if something caught my eye and they had the room, they might allow me to review it and maybe even do a short Q&A with the author. And well, after a couple of weeks, I was severely depressed because I wasn't seeing myself in any of those books. And it became clear in that moment that if I wanted to see something on a bookshelf that reminded me of me and brothers like myself, I would have to write it myself. And hence 4 months later, B-Boy Blues was born. So, and the B-Boy Blues universe is very much an extension of me. As most people assume, Mitchell Crawford is me because he was a Black gay journalist in New York City in the 90s. But that really is where these similarities end. The world of B-Boy Blues, or specifically Mitchell and in particular Raheem, are fiction. But the wonderful thing about fiction is that you can delve into worlds that many people may not be familiar with, and take them there. And that has always been my goal with what became the B-Boy Blues series. 7 more installments followed B-Boy Blues. So always taking a fresh look at the lives, the loves, even the loss of Black same-gender loving men. So that, in a nutshell, has been the writing journey for me.
Awesome, sir. And actually, to have known you for some time and to have done my research, I still always learn something new. I didn't know that you had delved into poetry at all at any point. Any chance of us seeing any of that?
Well, I haven't actually written a poem in literally decades.
Same here.
But you never know. I didn't think that there would be a B-Boy Blues series. So who knows what else waits for me on the horizon? The literary.
All right. Well, prayers up to God. We looking. I mean, it may find its way into the actual stories, But awesome answer. The impact that you and your world you and your work has had on the world is beyond apparent. I mean, you have to be living under, like I said, a very spacious and well-appointed rock not to know the name James Earl Hardy, not to know B-Boy Blues. And you kind of spoke already to the different things that you are attempting to illustrate and express, the way you're intending to educate, entertain, and inspire. And, I've been looking at the evolution of your work, moving from the most conventional sense of a book that we can touch and hold. And of course, you did ebooks. And I know last we spoke some years back, there was talk about turning B-Boy Blues into an audiobook. And I was just curious to know if you could tell us a little bit more about the production of the audiobook. Are there others in the series that have become audiobooks? And who are the readers? Anybody we would know?
Oh, yeah. The audiobooks have finally started to be released. Just around the time that B-Boy Blues, the film, was on the festival circuit in 21. So actually, the day Eazy-E died, the 4th book in the series came first.
Okay.
Yes, and that one, as well as the immediate sequel, Second Time Around, are read by Armani Williams.
Yes, I'm very familiar.
Yeah, Harlem Boys.
He's a brilliant author, brilliant, just great guy.
And a brilliant orator too. I mean, he really brings those stories to life in Raheem's voice. And then came If Only for One Night, which is the third title in the series, told in Mitchell's voice. And that's read by our very own cinematic Gene. He always gets, he's tickled every time I call him that, but that's who he is to the world. Landon G. Woodson. And then came B-Boy. I think that was like towards the end of 22.
Okay.
And that's read by our theatrical Mitchell.
Oh, wow. I have the name. Where is he?
Mm-hmm.
I forget. Oh, man, I have his name. What was the name again? I'm sorry.
Lamone Williams.
Okay. All right. Oh, wow. Okay. And you know what? And I appreciate that because especially when I think about the way I approach things with my own work, there's this temptation to always keep things in chronological order. And a lot of times nothing happens because you're so stuck in that rigid framework. And I can only imagine how much longer it would have taken all of it to happen if you had to wait until B-Boy was done first and then do the other. So definitely a teachable moment for me and for our viewers. Thank you so much. Let's see. So, we talked a little bit about this and, that it's been some time since we've seen each other, not pubbing myself by any means. But the last time that we got to see each other, for anyone that may remember, was the James Earl Hardy book tour, which we did in Chicago in, I think, 2018. It's been a while. And, man, I just know even to this day, for me, definitely, the few moments we had in the car, because we were on the move, but the few moments we had in the car was so inspirational for me. It's one of the reasons that I'm still going, to be quite honest. I quit every day. I tell people all the time, I quit every day. I quit daily. But I know what it did for the community, and they're still talking about it. And I was just curious to know, for anyone who may be interested, come on, Dallas, hint, hint, what would it take to get a James Earl Hardy book tour in their respective cities?
Well, just holla. I'm on Instagram and Facebook, and I'm very much approachable. So, and I've always been that way from the very moment I decided that, B-Boy Blues has to have a face attached to it in order for people to realize that, yes, it's real. And so I hit the road, and much of it on my own dime, just to ensure that the community knew that this was for us. So, and it's always been that way. So, I mean, if folks are interested in booking me for an event, it can be a book event, or it could be, you could screen the movie. It can be a talk back. And for those folks who know people who can truly write some checks, we can bring the play to your city. Because we still haven't hit LA and Boston and Chicago and much of Florida. So we're open to it. So let's make it happen.
All right. And I can, definitely attest, just to speak on it briefly, how our relationship came about. I was, working on my first book, and a brother, Ramon, I cannot think of Ramon's last name. I should have wrote it down. But I saw where you had actually done editing. And if I remember correctly, you did editing and you did the review for the book. And I remember I said, "Oh, my God, how did you do that? How did you get him?" He was like, "Oh, he on Facebook, just ask." And because this is business, I wanted people to understand this is a very busy man, okay? And his time, the best way to put it is that your review for my first work, and then you've done others, just did so much for my career. And as a result, this man definitely should be compensated. So please understand that, one, time is a factor. You may not have the time, even if you have a worthy work. But as he stated, he's approachable. You never know till you ask. Same can be said of the idea, as you stated, of the book tour coming, the play. I especially really want to see the play. I'm a nerd and bougie like that. Like a stage play. I did see the film. Awesome. And I saw it from home, but it would be awesome to see it in a communal setting. But yes, you kind of had the nuts and bolts there, folks. We need to know that the support is out there, that the demand is out there. And brother, I'm going to just add a little bit on there. This is not somebody who should be paying his own way to come to bring you his work. If you are saying that you want great art, and in my opinion, we need great art. And even though he's writing from a specific lens of SGL, same gender loving Black males, this is beneficial to the world. And so if you are hungry for that art, then let's talk and see how we can, make that happen. All right. I know that, there's some organizations out there. I'm making some great inroads myself in my new home of Dallas, and we're already looking at where we can try to bring James there. But you kind of have the framework right there, folks. Reach out, check with the man about his time, his interest. And yeah, let's look at what resources you can gather. Just as an example, when it came to Chicago, we had a friend who had, the availability to get him accommodations. We had a series of friends and organizations that had spaces for him to come in and speak. We had a dance hall studio, Joe Hall Dancers. Thank you again. That Friday night, we had the Ubuntu Center of Chicago, which is housed on the south side in the Hyde Park area. I think that property is now controlled by the University of Chicago, Illinois. And then we had St. Martin's Episcopal Church. And that's for your church folks who think, hey, there's no what's the word I'm looking for? Viable need or what have you. It was a hit. Okay. And that church actually has a very big art initiative. So just giving some ideas to those different organizations who, may be considering that and looking at the resources. Please know my brother is not a diva. We were rolling around in my busted Mustang. Now, we're not going to do that to him this time, but just know that he's not a diva. He's not going to need only green M&Ms, and he's not going to need the Mariah keep all of the temperature in the whole building at 67 degrees. He is very approachable, very humble, especially for all that you're doing. Oh my God. But you guys get the idea there.
Sorry.
You ever delivered here before?
A few times.
I've never seen you before. That's why I asked.
Guess I get seen when I'm supposed to get seen. I'm Raheem.
I'm Mitchell. Nice to meet you.
So, what's going down? I ain't never felt like this before.
Me neither.
Son, this is your mother calling. Called several times and I haven't heard back from you. Please call me back. I love you.
You dropped him off over here like a bag of dirty laundry and forgot to pick him up.
He was coming here to see you.
What the hell are you talking about? He came to see us.
Didn't fucking matter who took him.
It mattered to him.
I can't be in love.
Why not?
Because I've been in love before. It's never felt like this.
Oh, that wasn't love. I saw it. You had that glow. It was all up in your eyes. But love don't always come when you want it. But nephew, when it comes, you better name it and claim it.
To slide in, so we kind of already talked about the idea of witnessing the greatness in person. Now, I definitely don't want to be remiss and miss these amazing milestones. First and foremost, we have the 30-year anniversary of B-Boy Blues, the start of this whole amazing thing. And then from there, we're looking at the celebration of the 25th anniversary of the stage play, if I'm correct.
Well, no, the stage play has only been around for a dozen years.
Oh, okay. See, bad research. We'll work on that. Bad research. And then the film, 3-year anniversary for the film, and it being on BET Plus, which is where I purchased it, where I got to see it. And you just actually, there was a screening at Howard, which I thought was amazing because, you know, we think in Howard, and I know through different social and fraternal connections that there is a large SGL community there. But the idea to, when I think of Howard, and especially when I think of fraternities, you think of a lot of things that, for lack of a better word, might play into misogynistic things, might play into very heavy cis hetero male thinking. And so the idea that you all were able to bring the screening there, that it was widely accepted, and then they got a surprise appearance from the filmmaker himself, Mr. Jussie Smollett. Brother, this is just awesome. And I just have to ask, because, you know, for me, and I talk to the other authors about this all the time, each time one of these pops out, it's magical. The idea that something that only existed here is now here. I can hold it. But what is it like for you to see these characters that you took from your brain, you put on the page, walking around on a stage, moving around on a movie screen, living, loving, laughing? What is that like?
Well, it's definitely surreal. I've always dreamed of the B-Boy Blues movie.
Oh, okay.
In fact, like within the first year of the novel's publication, it was optioned for the first time. So I've always been on that particular journey. I've written maybe like a half dozen B-Boy Blues screenplays.
Oh, okay.
Depending on the parties involved, and also the the century.
Yeah.
There were at least a couple in the 90s and a few more in the aughts and the teens. And we actually came very close in 2006, 2007 with the late Maurice Jamal as director, producer, and co-writer. But of course, it wasn't until Jussie Smollett that things really kicked into gear. So let me just say, I watch the film every day.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
And I watch it every day. Well, no, I don't actually watch it every day, but it is indeed on every day. Sometimes it's just, you know, the music for me. Like I'll just turn on music. Well, it's music for me. I'll just turn it on and I'll just go about my business and do what I'm doing at home. But sometimes I'm actually sitting down and watching it for me. And sometimes I'm watching it for those who are no longer here. I'll catch myself laughing at something that I've never laughed at before. And I realize I'm laughing because this brother or this sister would have laughed, who is no longer with us. So that makes it a very surreal experience for me. It's almost like I'm watching it or experiencing it for the first time every time I click play, which is quite frankly a beautiful thing. You do see something new, or think of something new when I'm watching it. So, and the play, well, I think the play happened because I was kind of antsy waiting for the movie to happen.
Oh.
And a friend of mine said, well, why don't you just turn it into a play? And I said, well, I don't know anything about writing plays. Well, that never stopped you when you didn't know anything about writing novels. So I did, and I brought Stanley Bennett Clay on board to direct it. And since March 2013, it truly has been a hit with folks. And I think that part of it is that we were able to bring it into the 21st century in a way that kept the soul of the story intact, not sacrificing much. And of course you have to sacrifice something. It's because, well, you've only got 90 minutes.
Right.
So you can't have a cast of 1,000 on stage.
Right.
But it really is, it's kind of like it when I watched the play for the very first time, and in fact, in that first performance here in New York City, our Mitchell was DeLon Burnside.
Yes. Pose fame. Yeah.
Right. And he was actually cast as Mitchell basically at the last moment, because we were holding auditions in New York, and he emailed me the night before our auditions, and someone had told him about it, and he was a student at the time, and I guess he wanted to get his feet wet in theater, and I said, okay, well, I'll send you the sides and just prepare the verse and a chorus of a song, and he came in the next day and just knocked it out of the park. I mean, Stanley and I looked at each other and it's like, wow, a star is born. And we were right, because look where he is today. So seeing folks step into the skins of these characters in a way that I hoped they would, but then also taking those characters in different directions where I never thought they could be taken. Yeah. Wow, what a blessing that has been over these past dozen years. So we're aiming for an official off-Broadway and then a Broadway run. So let's keep our fingers and our toes crossed on that one.
I'm at that Broadway now. Listen, one, I haven't done a Broadway show yet. Two, like I said, I haven't seen the play yet, and that would be the perfect one for me to see. And you gave us so much just there in that answer that I hope people are really leaning into and taking away from. One, perseverance. Okay, this did not happen overnight. We saw it announced and then out kind of overnight, but we didn't see the process and the testament that you're giving us of that persistence, as well as the flexibility not to hold so tight to not only the dream but the story itself, because that was actually one of my questions that you hit it. You awesome like that, because I was even thinking about, when I think about B-Boy Blues' inception and then when the movie came out, and I love that there were the core and the soul of the story is intact, right? But you brought it in when I think I saw references to stuff like Grindr, references to more updated music, references to current big artists like Solange, I believe was mentioned. And it was like, okay, yeah, for me even too, it was a reminder that, okay, if you're going to do this and there's going to be a bunch of cooks in the kitchen, you kind of got to hold firm to make sure that the core message stays, but you still got to be open and be flexible and always adaptable. So, brother, are you teaching classes anywhere anytime soon? A paid seminar? Let's put that on the list. A paid seminar.
That's a good idea.
And you kind of spoke to a couple things that I want to get to too, with respects to the film. About how it came about and everything. And one of the things I definitely had to ask, because anybody that knows you and knows your writing knows how much you love music. And I think, honestly, it's something that I picked up from you, the idea that whenever I want to really give people a sense of setting, of time and place, that you have to have all five senses, but the music is the thing that I tend to go to. And it even occurred to me as I was getting ready for this interview, I was like, oh my God, he's been doing that all along. When you look at the title of the first book, B-Boy Blues, there's the nod to the blues. in it. But I was curious to know, like, how much were you involved in the soundtrack? Because from what I gathered, I felt like I was seeing a lot of independent musicians, which I was like, oh my God, he's using his talent to elevate all of these people, but how much did you get to play a role in the musical selection?
Well, Jussie and I both agreed that the soundtrack should be very much like a waiting to exhale thing, that all the artists are Black, same gender loving.
Okay.
And that their songs specifically speak to our lived experiences. Okay. And the gentleman who was really spearheading all of that, the brilliant Duran Bernard.
Oh my goodness, I missed that. Yes. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Wow. He has at least, I think, 3 or 4 songs on the actual soundtrack, and there are other artists too. So, and of course, we didn't have the coins to like license a Natalie Cole or a Luther or an Aretha. So unfortunately, but hopefully sometime in the future that will happen.
But that's no, and it's amazing. I mean, and it's of course the book, to see the nods to the greats is awesome. But coming back to that idea, we had to bring this into the 20th century. Keeping relevance and all of that in mind, it only made that much more sense to me that you would pick, a new set of artists. And it's awesome that, it's something I think I have to think about all of the time and, try to advise other artists, as well, that, we can't just be so lofty and all in the arts. We got that businessman got to be in the conversation. So the idea of we're not going to blow the whole budget on music when we still got to pay these actors and sets and all the people we don't even see, and that's before you or Jussie or anybody get any money too, so great lesson there. And you kind of spoke to the next thing I wanted to go to, that, you mentioned Dylan Burnside. We talked about Jussie. I think we mentioned a couple other names, but for anybody who doesn't know, this man, I've seen the pictures and I've been watching it for years of the different amazing talents and artists and people in the industry and beyond that you've gotten to, in my opinion, walk rightly alongside, these other giants, you being one of them, despite our stature. I think we're about the same height, but this is a conglomeration of some amazing talents. I mean, like I said, we talk about Jussie being the director, Jussie Smollett being the director, first known by most for his role in Empire. We see Timothy Richardson for Mitchell, correct? We have Thomas Mackey, come on, Raheem, who plays the lead role of Raheem, who's now, I believe, in The Chi. Hip hop legend Heather B. When I saw Heather B, I had to pause the thing and hop up and run around the room. Then I look up, I think I might have saw Lettucey first. I can't remember who I saw first. But I definitely saw Miss Brandy Evans of P Valley fame. Brother, this constellation, to borrow a phrase from the church pastors, of stars is amazing. But I'm still like, okay, after having done all of this, is there anybody left on the list that you hope to work with someday, musically, what have you? Anybody else? I mean, who is on your bucket list, so to speak?
I guess I don't have a bucket list, but I would really like to work with folks like Coleman Domingo.
Oh yeah.
And Jelani Aladdin.
Yes.
Well, why not cinematically at some point, DeLon?
Okay.
Yeah, he's just doing such better than good work. And it would be interesting to see him tackle something today as opposed to when he first started out in 13. So I've learned you just have to be open to all the possibilities, because you just never know.
Right.
Who's going to open the door, or who's going to see an audition tape?
Right.
You never thought of them, and you never thought of them for that particular kind of role, but it all works out. So.
Yeah, and see, brother, you went right to what I was doing. And part of the reason, honestly, when I do these interviews, part of the reason that I set up some of the questions is to get people to express their hopes and their dreams, put them out there. And I know from my own experience, just even speaking them makes me go back and work on them. But then you have the idea of you never know who's listening. You never know who's listening. And you know, so kind of spun that in there. Hope we get you a few more of them folks to come knocking. But in any case, we know that whatever you do, whoever you work with, it's going to be brilliant. Your track record is beyond proven for some amazingly impactful and successful art. We thank you. It actually gets me to the next thing here. You know, like I think to myself all the time, you know, this is a man that should never have to introduce himself. Period. There should just always be a little guy right next to you. James Earl Hardy. But I'll handle the sales pitch. So we know that we can buy your books in multiple formats. Thankfully, now we know about all of the audiobooks. Wherever books are sold, we can see the stage play, hopefully soon in the city near us, especially if you all do what you got to do. We know the film is available on BET, and that, let me see. Yes, we're looking at the 20th anniversary for A House Is Not a Home, which I understand is on ebook at $1.99, folks. $1.99. If y'all don't come up off that bus fare and get this book, that's how you get these plays and these films. I'm looking for the second time around film to pop as soon as possible. Y'all buy these books. But I wanted to ask, you know, have we covered all of the offerings? Are there any upcoming publications, productions, appearances for those of us who are thirsty fans?
Well, the audiobooks for the other 4 titles will start rolling out later this year.
Oh, wow.
And well, that would include A House Is Not a Home.
Okay.
Love the One You're With. Is It Still Good to You? And Men of the House. I was
going to ask about, that's the one I wrote a review back for. That was good. That was a good one. Okay. Well, you know, like I said, this brother, you see, he's busy. He's getting it done and getting it done well, not just putting stuff out to be putting stuff out. It comes out and it's amazing. And like I said, I cannot say enough for, you know, your impact on, well, for me personally, but the community as a whole. And I learned a long time ago that if you take care of, for lack of a better phrasing, the least of these, the most marginalized segments of society, you've actually taken care of everybody. If we are getting art that uplifts the LGBTQ plus community and helps us to realize our fullness, our greatness, we in turn impact the rest of the world. And it starts with stuff like what you're doing, sir. And so we really thank you for that. I just wanted to know, one of the last questions, what advice do you have for artists in general, and for the LGBTQ community in particular?
Well, the world can't survive without art and artists. And especially in times like these, it is so important that you nurture and amplify rather your voice. Whatever it is that you do. As a writer, nothing I have created in my almost 60 years on this earth.
That's a good looking 60.
Thank you. Has created the kind of communion that B-Boy Blues has. And if you had told me when I was pursuing my career as a journalist that I would write something like it and that it would have the type of impact that it continues to have, I would have laughed. So you just never know what the ancestors have in store for you. And truly, the ancestors were working with me and are still working on me when it comes to B-Boy Blues and its different iterations. So I wouldn't have chosen this path, but I'm so glad it chose me. And I never get tired of hearing people say how much B-Boy Blues has changed their life, because it changed mine too.
Yeah.
And when we are all long gone, it will continue to. So it's a beautiful thing when you create something that will live literally forever.
Yeah.
And somebody needs to read your book. Somebody needs to see your performance. Somebody needs to experience you, because they're going to see a reflection of themselves. And in a climate where we are literally being erased, it is so important that we be loud and proud. So.
Well, brother, whoo, right there with you, coming in your wake, trying to do the same good work. And thank you once again, for everything that you've done to help me to do that. But I can go on all day. Anybody that knows me knows that I can. And we promise to get this brother on his way to keep doing all the amazing things that he does on behalf of all of us. So before we get up out of here, I don't want everybody bum rushing the band and, filling up his voicemail, this, that, the other. So we're going to respect his privacy. And I don't even think I have your phone number. I may have it somewhere, just forgot. But we want to just give you the opportunity to, tell us any preferred contact methods that you have for, the fans that want to come through and show love, the people that want to, support you and, be that wind under your wings that keeps you in the air, keeps us all inspired and our heads up, metaphorically and literally. Where can we find you?
Well, I am on Facebook and Instagram, james.e.hardy.9, I believe is the actual handle. And folks can hit me up on email, james.earl.hardy@gmail.com.
All right. So for the purposes of our viewers, you will see it. If you're not seeing it right now, the scrolling ticker will have the brother's information as well as in the captions and in the video description. And Brother James, I just, like I said, I don't want to let go, but we gonna make sure that we are in each other's space again. I know I should be on the East Coast sometime soon, and more importantly, we gonna get that Dallas tour in order so that we can get you out to what I have heard called the Purple Heart of Texas, because it's so mixed with the liberal and the conservative, but there's a considerable LGBTQ here community, considerable African American community, and actually I forgot you told me that you visited Dallas some years before, so you know, and it's only grown since then, and of course we got Miss Representative Stacey Crockett. Jasmine Crockett, Stacey, where did Stacey come from? Jasmine Crockett, and who knows, we might get her in the house. But brother, I would leave it to you. Any final words of well wishes you want to give to the people before I let you get up out of here? You already gave the advice, but
Well, yeah. Well, take good care of yourselves, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually.
All right, sir. Well, I'm gonna let you.
Well, thank you so much for the opportunity to fellowship with you once again. It's always a better than good time. Always.
Definitely. Capital J for Judd. So if you'll hang on in our green room, so to speak, I'm gonna go ahead and give my quote unquote sign off to the people.
Okay.
Well, folks, there you have it. The man, the myth, the legendary icon himself, Mr. James Earl Hardy. And we want to thank him for the time coming on our humble production and to help us round out the summer reading list of 2025. I sincerely hope that everyone, takes some inspiration, something educational, something entertaining, which is a vital need as well from these conversations. And furthermore, we ask that you do continue to give your support to these authors. Buy the works, go on their websites, particularly go on Amazon and things like that, and leave those reviews. We need to have those reviews in the place where the people in the industry see those reviews. We appreciate them on Facebook and in Facebook comments, but go ahead and copy and paste that bad boy right on into Instagram. I mean, not Instagram, but into Amazon, Barnes & Noble, so on and so forth. But before I get long-winded, like y'all know I am prone to do, I'm going to leave you all with my favorite sign off, giving you God's infinite love, peace, and blessings. Good night.
You ever delivered here before?
A few times.
I've never seen you before. That's why I asked.
Guess I get seen when I'm supposed to get seen. I'm Raheem.
I'm Mitchell. Nice to meet you.
So, what's going down?
Something called love. Something called love.
I ain't never felt like this before.
Me neither.
Son, this is your mother calling. I've called several times and I haven't heard back from you. Please call me back. I love you.
And I still love you. I cannot replace you. I can never tame you. Hold you down, but can't hold you back.
You dropped him off over here like a bag of dirty laundry and forgot to pick him up.
He was coming here to see you.
What the hell are you talking about? He came to see us.
Didn't matter who took him.
It mattered to him.
Every one of your lies, and I don't have the patience, but
I can't be in love
Why not?
because I've been in love before. It's never felt like this.
Oh, that wasn't love. I saw it. You had that glow. It was all up in your eyes. But love don't always come when you want it. But nephew, when it comes, you better name it and claim it.